Hi, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. Now, today I want to talk about the testing process that the narcissist will put a target through. Now, the fact that we're all here at Kim Wilson TV indicates very strongly that we all pass the test, and today we're going to explore that. One of the first tests is going to be almost immediate, and I'm talking from my experience, immediate introduction of Trevor being a victim. He immediately hit me with the, I was adopted, no one understands me, my exes are horrible, this sort of thing, immediately presenting as a victim. He just didn't get the right opportunities in life, he didn't have the right support, not the right encouragement, all of it, I mean all of it. So he didn't just do a massive, dialogue dump on me. It was gradual, like we would, be at work. We hadn't started dating yet at this point. Trevor and I worked together. But he was starting to present himself as a victim. The horrible exes, the fact that he had limited access to his children, he just didn't get the right opportunities in life, all this kind of shit. So by the time we were dating, I had already been a bit subjected to that. So he just kept, on with that sort of dialogue. Oh, you're so fabulous. Had I had the types of opportunities that I needed, I could have been a better person. I could have done better in life. All of this immediately creating a pity pot. And I'll tell you, that worked on me. I fell for that. I really did, and became very empathetic. So even before we were dating as co-workers, I was offering to help him with things. Now, I was an absolute ideal candidate to pass the pity pot test. I have 5 sons, all strong, self-assured, confident men. They don't have a pity pot. I was married for 18 years to a beautiful, confident, self-driven man. He didn't have a pity pot. Even many years after my husband died and I started dating, I guess I had dated men who, again, had good careers, who were, sure of themselves, confident men. None of them had a pity pot. I'd never seen the pity pot before. I didn't know that the pity pot was being used as a test, nor did I know it was a trap. So I immediately fell victim to this, and very hard actually, because, I'd never seen this before. It never occurred to me that this would be, something underhanded or manipulative. I just really felt like this person's in trouble and I want to help them. Like, I want to be a friend. And I remember saying to him one day, I truly want to help you. I feel bad, and I think that's, horrible what's happened to you, and I really would like to be a good friend and a good partner to you. Well, holy fuck, did I pass that test in flying colors. Another aspect of the early stages of dating Trevor that I really felt was a red flag and was not really able to identify as a test, but definitely something wasn't quite fucking right there, was his need to constantly be with me. Now, I have children, at that time still had teenage boys at home who were in school, and the demands that he was putting on me to be with him were very unusual. And the other thing too was it started to affect my work. Like he was becoming so problematic, like faking illness, faking emotional distress, faking, victimization. So I would take days off work or spend time away from my kids, to help him lick his wounds better. All of it, which now I recognize were part of the test to see how much I would comply with his demands, and they were great. Now, another way that he very methodically tested me, regarding how much of my personal space and time I was willing to give up to him, was regarding my artist studio. Now, I had been on the initiating board of directors in our town with a fabulous group of artists, and we had established an artist incubator. I had a beautiful public studio there. Never have my jewelry supplies been so beautifully organized. It was so easy to work in there, and it was something I really loved. Now, he also started to introduce some future faking into this test, and he would say to me, you know, I don't mind taking you there. I don't mind waiting for you there. I don't mind picking you up there. But, you know, wouldn't it be so much more comfortable for you if we put a studio for you in the house? He kept going with this, and I'll tell you, in short time, I gave up my position with that artist incubator, something I've always regretted. I gave up that beautiful studio, and never did he make space for me in the house to work, ever. With great sadness, I have to admit, I also passed that test with flying colors. Another aspect of the initial testing that now I see very, very clearly, but was really caught off guard by, was his jealousy. I mean, he would rage at me really quite early on in the relationship if I was unaccounted for 30 minutes, or took too long at the grocery store, or told him I'd be there at 6 and arrived at 6:30. He would become very, very upset. And when I'd say to him, hey, whoa, what's going on here? Like, you know, what the fuck is happening? He would say things like, oh, it's just because I love you so much, you know, and there's a dangerous world out there, and I didn't know if you'd been hurt or injured, and I was just worried because I love you so much. Holy cow. Oh, big hook. I mean, absolutely pass that test too. And let him speak horribly to me, let him accuse me of cheating on him, allowed him to humiliate and disgrace me, and all under the guise that it was because he loved me so much. And what was happening as a result of that? I was apologizing, and quite profusely and very wholeheartedly apologizing for worrying him and upsetting him, and then trying to overcompensate for this worry. So holy fuck, I passed that test like 100%. Now, we both worked together, and Trevor worked sort of in the maintenance department, and I was the only person on the sales team. So, of course, I dealt with all the customers when they came in. So let's say it was a Monday. So this Monday, a man comes in, and he's paying quite a bit of attention to me. Now, after work, and Trevor got quite quiet that day, but after work, I went home to my family. I believe Trevor might have even given me a ride home, but he was quite solemn. Now, the next morning, I arrive at work. My boss is already on full alert. Trevor has been drinking through the night. He's not coming to work that day, and he is in a full nuclear meltdown. And we try to have a bit of a normal work day. He's calling every second. I mean, he's phoning every line, like the phone's ringing off the wall, until my boss finally says to me, Kim, he's going to come down here, and I can't have this at the shop. You got to get up there, and you got to go talk to him, because he's fucking losing his mind. When I got there, Trevor was a complete raging lunatic, saying things like, how could you have hurt me like that? How could you have done that to me? After everything I've been through, and I trusted you so much. I wanted to marry you. There is nothing I wouldn't have done for you. How could you have done this to me? How could you have done this to me? And he was crying, and he was sobbing, and he was flailing around the house, and he was smashing things and punching the walls. And holy shit, I called my mother to go take care of my kids, and I stayed with him for 3 days. This rage, this drunken rage, went on for 3 days. I swear to God, the man didn't eat or sleep. He was absolutely powered by insanity. And for 3 days, all I did was beg him for forgiveness. Then there was the little digs, the little bits of humiliation, the little name calling, the little bit of disrespect. And sometimes I would just feel bad and think, what the hell was that about? I thought he was crazy about me, and I was getting a bit confused, and this stuff's going on in my head. And I said to him a couple of times, you know, Trevor, that feels a bit imposing on me. Like, the things you're saying are making me feel bad. Why would you blame me? You're the abuser. You're the one who's doing it. How do you think your insults make me feel? And I'm thinking, what insults? Like, I mean, the gaslighting was in full swing. The love bombing was over. I was passing the test in spades. And by the time, you know, I was even able to catch my breath, I was deeply in love with him. I had moved in with him. My children had moved in with him as well. And I was fucked. Just like that. Absolutely fucked. And the devaluation was on. And I'll tell you, it came fast and it came hard and it came steady. So for a long time, I remained in this really confused and disorientated state, really not knowing what the fuck was happening, trying desperately to stop the horrendous behavior, apparently, that I was committing against him, though I felt like I was exercising as much compassion and love and empathy as a person could possibly provide, and it was never enough. So that was a test, I'll tell you, that I really passed in absolute spades, because I had at that point absolutely dedicated myself to trying to be a better partner to him. The test is a life lesson that I'm not soon going to forget. In fact, all of those things were red flags that I could clearly see. And through all the love bombing and the future faking, I guess I chose to ignore it, hoping that it was real. And sadly, I really did pass the narc test. I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. Guys, bless your heart today. I hope you're all having a really good narc-free day.